We're here today on the beautiful waterfront of Annapolis to bring the Warrior Sailing program to the city. Right now we have a basic training camp going on. We're bringing out wounded, ill, and injured service members and introducing them to the sport of sailing. So by the time they graduate from here, they'll have all the basics where they can go to a sailing community to be able to get out in a boat and enjoy the sport that we love.
We're not taking people for boat rides. We're teaching them a skill. We're teaching them all the basics of sailing. We introduce racing by day 3, and we have a group of coaches on board. So that's like the main objective.
So I could literally get now down and pick the person up, and we would rescue someone.
The whole program started back in November of 2013. Frankly, came back from the games and saw that we actually didn't have any veterans on our Paralympic team at all, and none in the pipeline, and it just seemed crazy to me. And Ralphie Steins was one of our coaches during our campaign for 2012. He wanted to get into doing some type of veteran programming into sailing, and we came up with this concept.
One of the things is we don't want to drill any holes into the boats. So Gene came up with some nice ways how to put benches into the boat that are easily removable. So on the boat on the far side we have a forward bench and an aft bench. This aft bench even has a seat on it because we have a triple amputee that is on the boat. We do this for sonars, J22s, J70s. All kinds of boats can get this equipment put into it to make their playing field a little bit easier. And ultimately we want to show the clubs just how easy it is. We're just a spark plug to actually show you can do more for these guys, and that's really what it's all about.
We rely heavily on warrior care programs, so every service has a different warrior care program associated in order to track, mentor, and help in the recovery of their wounded, ill, and injured. Other folks find us through the VA Adaptive Sports Program, and word of mouth is probably our best advertisement.
Well, the reason that I got into the sport of sailing after I had my spinal cord injury is the fact that I can leave my wheelchair on the dock, go out on a boat, and I can go compete against able-bodied people, and I can beat them. Right? There's so many sports that only just pigeonhole into disabled sports, and this is a sport where I can go out and compete against anybody. A lot of these men and women can leave the crap that they deal with on a daily basis on shore and go out and enjoy the water and go out and have that therapeutic effect.
It's also the teamwork, and I think that's something that is missed in a lot of athletics. 3 people have to work together on a boat to make them go forward and make them get around the race course. And it's a mental game. Once you get the physics and the physical aspect of sailing down, it's all about the chess game and getting out there, and that's, the level playing ground comes back in.
I've sailed before, but this is getting the finer points of sailing, how to actually read the wind, move the boat, how to get a little bit faster by adjusting the sails, adjusting the jibs, all the fun stuff, the gross motor skills of sailing and winning. Right, Coach?
The idea is to get the basics down, and we'll figure out how to do it so that we have fun, we do it safely, and then we're going to kick ass.
Here for my first taste of sailing with the sailing school. I've never been on a sailboat before. This is my very first time that I ever stepped on with the start of this course. It's been a real blessing for me. I have been overseas a lot of times, and I've dreamed of sailing, and I've watched videos of sailing. Well, I love the fact that it's wind power and the technical aspect of the sailing. I love to get out there on the water without having to depend on a motor. I can get out there and I can actually work the ropes and manage the wind and see how the environment is actually impacting the boat and how it affects the structure of the sails and go where you want to go.
The biggest problem for any soldier is to come home and you've been trained to be a soldier. We have to untrain you and retrain you to be a citizen, and this is a great step. Everybody is used to their small units, and so here in sailing on the boat, we have the community of a small military unit, the crew, and it really helps them to feel comfortable within the crew.
Warrior sailors, that was your 5-minute warning signal. 5 minutes to your start.
And it makes a big difference to them to integrate again into the normal society.
The benefits of what we do are endless. And you could look at it from the physical aspects of improving range of motion, and you can look at it from the social relationships and getting these guys to come out and interacting with a peer group that most of them desperately miss being around. One of the greatest feedback I've gotten is I haven't talked to anyone but my dog in 6 months. This is the first interaction I've had, and it's just good to be around my people again.
One of the things that happens that we hear all the time, for the VA, it's easy to describe drugs. And they are telling us that when they are doing the sailing, they don't need to take their meds.
The benefits of that are measurable. So all of those, the cognitive aspect, we could go on and on and on. But ultimately, it's just to make people happy and show our appreciation for everything that they've done for us. There's no better job in this world.
I have a dream job. I can't think of a better program to be involved in, to be asked to be the director. It's like a privilege. I get every day to try and change people's lives through sailing, and then introduce a group of people that are so deserving to the community that has changed my life. I didn't start sailing till later in life, and I've created friends that are all over the world, and for me to give back to sailing and to that community and introduce a whole bunch of people to sailing is really special, and it's fun.
This is way too motivating. That's why I think as we grow, you can never get away from actually being on the front lines with the camp, because the transformation that we see during these camps and the skill level and how quickly they learn is really motivating for us, and that explains to us why we do what we do. And that motivates us to just keep doing what we're doing and keep trying to raise the funds to make it sustainable. The Warrior Sailing Program is an official program of the U.S. MMA Sailing Foundation. And without the leadership of Ralphie Steins and the director of Ben Poucher, we would not be able to make the impact that we do. We've had over 130 graduates from our program, and about 75% of them have a traumatic brain injury or PTSD or both. So we're making the impact of those veterans that we have within our community, and we want to do more.
To me, sailing feels like coming back home. It's a sense of camaraderie and competition in a supportive environment. Gets me out of my house, meeting new people who can relate. It encourages me to travel, even to different states. It's been a very welcoming community, and I sincerely appreciate that. I've been at it a year now, and can't believe I never had it before. So it feels like a big blessing, and I'm definitely here to stay.